guys, I'm Ree.
Hi, I'm Najee Rain.
I'm Levi Walks.
And this is The Need to Know. So guys, today we have two new guests. They've never been on the show before, guys. I'm definitely excited to hear what you guys have to say. So I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves and then we'll go from there.
Ladies first.
Oh, thanks. Hi, I'm Najee Rain. I'm an up-and-coming artist from New York City. I rap, I sing. I just really love music. And I'm really here to just, like, share my sound with the world type shit, if that's okay for me to say.
Yeah.
Dope.
But yeah.
My name is Levi Walks. I'm a designer. I have a degree in architecture. And, yeah, I'm just here to share my thoughts. Good thoughts.
Yes, okay. I'm excited to have you guys. So today we're going to talk about communication. Also, just so you guys know, we will have a third guest coming on. She's just going to jump on right after, okay? So today we're going to start off with, let me ask you guys what's your definition of good communication. Let's start with that.
All right. So good communication is, I feel like it's divided into like a list from most important to least. And definitely the first is listening. Because you can't talk if you're not listening. Mm-hmm. 2 is thinking before you speak. Because if you're just saying whatever off emotion, it's not really productive. And that's my list right now. I'll probably think of something else.
Yeah, to just piggyback off of what he said, listening is so important, and listening to comprehend, not listening to respond, or like listening just to get your point back off immediately. It's just really important to like say how you feel, especially when you're feeling it. I think that's a really big part of good communication, like not letting things linger for too long. Sometimes when you let things linger, you try to forget about them, you try to not have to unpack them, but good communication is unpacking, feeling vulnerable enough to feel comfortable enough to unpack.
Yeah, that's a fact, because I know a lot of people, and men specifically, like to hold things. Mm-hmm. Like, if something happens, you're like, all right, whatever. And it keeps happening, then you build up that resentment, and then you explode, and it's like, yo, you didn't talk to me. But it's like, yeah, you should just bring it up.
Are you guys self-aware of when you guys need to speak up?
I think I am.
Most of the time.
What is a time that you were not self-aware and you exploded?
When I wasn't self-aware and I exploded. It's like small things like, if we talk and having an argument or, discussion, and I see that I'm thinking of a specific situation where my friend was like, I would bring it up to him, and as soon as I said something, he would just like, nah, it's not me. What you talking about, bro? Da-da-da. I'm like, all right, bro, you got it. And then it kept happening over and over. Then I blew up like, yo, just, nigga, listen. Like, what you talking about? Like, listen to me. He's like, bro, why you blacking? Like, just relax. But it's that buildup that got me so upset. So that was one time.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like, I don't even know. Like, I feel like I got too many in my head right now. Like, how many times I should have said something before I got there. But definitely in the situation of, like, I've had situations where someone would, like, borrow my things, and every time I get them back, it's either broken or, but usually, like, sometimes you lend things. Most of the time I was told, lend things that you'd be okay with if you don't get it back. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So when I wouldn't get those things back, I wouldn't explode. I wouldn't say nothing till I lent that person something that was important. And I was upset that I didn't get it back, and then I exploded. Yeah. But I should have been saying like, "Yo, that's not how you treat somebody's things when you're borrowing it," type shit. Yeah. But yeah, definitely should speak up the first time around. Like, you got to learn that lesson. That's a hard one.
Do you think that you listen completely before you speak up?
It depends, yo. if it's something like I'm passionate about, I realize that I'm quick to be like, nah. Like, I'm dead in it. But I feel like for the most part, I'm pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, if I'm passionate about it, you might catch me on the wrong day. I might say something that I might regret just because of how passionate I am about how I feel about things that I'm passionate about. But other than that, like, I feel like I'm pretty unbiased when I'm listening. I'm just trying to, like, usually I'm just looking for a solution. So it's like, what's up? What do you have to say? Yeah. You know?
So I feel like this conversation is like leading more to relationship like interactions.
No, I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm getting to, we talking over. All right, so we'll do this question first. When you are I'll do friendships, because I feel like when you're very, I guess, comfortable with a friend, it seems like you argue more than you speak. Do you think that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And it doesn't mean to be an argument, but that's just how you guys talk to each other. Yeah. And I personally have that with one friend, and everybody was like, oh, why are you guys always arguing? I'm like, no, we really talk like that. Like, that's just how we have a conversation. And it's just like, why do you think that?
It's just comfortability, honestly. Like, I feel like with strangers or people you're not really close with, you're like, oh, let me respect them, let me not be too mean or this and that. With your mans, you like, yo, bro, shut up. Like, that don't make any sense, this and that, da-da-da. But yeah, I think that's why.
It's funny because I'm like a huge advocate against that. Like, I believe in treating strangers like crap, and the people you love, like you love them at all times. But I do feel like sometimes people, we're just comfortable, and like we take for granted the people we have around us, honestly. And I think that we use that comfort sometimes against each other. Like, I can do this because you're gonna be here. I feel like that is the reason. I don't think it's a good one, though.
So do you feel like it could be like both ways, where you're so comfortable that you're able to speak freely, and sometimes it comes out as like, you know, you don't gotta be mean, but like maybe sarcastic.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, for sure. Like, sometimes it can be beneficial that, you know, you can be so vulnerable, but sometimes it's like, damn, you would not have said that if you ain't know him like that.
Right.
Like, you know, it's like, damn, why you had to be so mean?
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. All right, so quick story. I was doing Uber, right? And I picked up this couple, and it's a guy and a girl, and they get in. I'm driving them from Jersey to New York, and long story short, she didn't know he wanted to go chill with his niggas, and she was gonna go to her grandma's house, and so she started blacking like, why'd I come out here, this and that, and she's like putting her hands on him, and I'm like, gosh. I'm just in the front like.
He not hitting her back?
Nah, well, not at this point.
I mean, tell a full story, like, nah.
So she's doing all this shit. He's like, yo, stop putting your hands on me, bro. And then she's like swinging at him. I'm like, yo, y'all gotta chill. Like, y'all can't do this in here. They're going back and forth, and I just hear like a loud slap, like, pow.
Oh my gosh.
And then she just sitting there, like, in the back. I could stop here, and y'all can get out and handle, but y'all can't do this. What if y'all hit me in the front and, you know, I swerve off the road and shit? So they're chilling, and she starts hitting him again, and I'm just thinking about the whole situation. I'm like, this is so toxic. Like, they're not talking really, they're just yelling at each other. They're both saying things that are wrong, but they're not acknowledging
each other.
Like,
or each other's feelings.
Yeah. Exactly. So they're like saying all this shit. Like, she's calling him out his name, talking to him crazy. I'm just like, nah.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that communication is key, because they're both saying shit, not acknowledging the wrong stuff that they're saying.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
No, it's definitely, I feel like in a relationship, it's always one person wants to be right over the other. In any conversation, I feel like one person is trying to prove their point, but I feel like there's a simpler way to do that than bickering back and forth. Like, you know, okay, this is how I feel, this is how you feel. We agree to disagree. I feel like if you can say, I agree to disagree, like, that's it, you know, we could cut it there and, you know, next conversation. But it's like one person always wants to prove that they're right and the other person is wrong. And it's just like, I don't feel like that's the right thing, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that. But I started doing that real recently because my peace is paramount now. But my man's be getting tight when I say, you got it, or I agree, disagree. He's like, nah, it's not over. I'm like, I don't want to be in this argument no more.
Nah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm a big person on like, oh, like there's no right or wrong. Like, it's just you feel that way, I feel this way. Like, that's it. Like, there's no, like, it's you feel how you feel always, and I'm gonna feel how I feel. Like, it's you can't change that. And it's like, I feel like that's kind of like why people argue so much.
Yeah.
And they always like, oh, I'm gonna get heated because I don't like this. Like, if someone's arguing with me, I'd be so calm. I'd be like, I'm like, yeah. All right.
Word.
Yeah, like, I'm like trying to maintain my peace, because it's like, if I stoop to your level of anger, it's over. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen next. I could just be like, all right, well, I'm ready to fight you. Like, it could be anything that happens, and I've had that in so many, like, I've had that in a friendship, and it's like, never saw eye to eye. Like, we were always on opposites, and I've known this person for my whole life, you know, and it's just like, we never saw eye to eye. And it's just like, you know, I'm my type of person, you're your type of person, I accept you, why you don't accept me? Like, we don't have to agree all the time, you know. I have to respect you, I have to understand this is you, but I don't have to be like, oh yeah, you know, I like this, or I fuck with this. Like, that's not normal. Like, I don't think that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely not. And I think that's what makes friendships and relationships beautiful, is the differences. Because if you just agree, like, that's kind of like living in an echo chamber. Like, you're just saying the same stuff. You don't grow. You don't think about different perspectives. I feel like I realized that because my friend, I'm talking about the same friend. My friend, he's colorblind. And so green is like yellow, and red is sometimes gray for him. And the shit is just wild.
Before you finish, this is our third guest. I'm going to let her introduce herself, and then we're going to go right into it, okay?
Hi, guys. I'm Shianne. That's it.
You can continue now.
Yeah, so he's colorblind, and me and my friends be like, nah, bro, this is green, like, this is red, what are you talking about? But for his reality, his eyes don't process these colors the same as us.
Right.
So when I thought about that and sat down, I'm like, that can apply to opinions, to lifestyles, to all these different type of things, where I could see something a certain way and you see it a certain way, and we both could be right.
Yeah.
So yeah, just acknowledging that will allow you to have a lot more peace with your relationships, I feel like.
So I'm gonna catch you up. So we're talking, we've been through we talked about a lot of stuff so far. Yeah. We did, what's your definition of good communication? We could go back.
My definition of good communication, I don't know, it's just keeping me in the loop. I'm not saying that you have to update me about your everyday life every minute, but general communication. So for example, I was just in a situation the other day where, so I have this habit of, like, when I'm like in a mood or something, I'm like, you know, I come to myself. Like, I don't really reach out. I'm just like to myself. And so the people around me that care, they're like, you know, what's up with you? And so I don't communicate that, okay, right now I just don't feel like talking to nobody. And so me and a friend actually came up with something like, so when I feel like I have that mood, just send the ghost emoji. And I don't have to really explain. It's just like, that's just what it is. So it's just like keeping somebody in the loop, because if the shoes were flipped, if you're wondering about something, you have questions about something, that means that there's not enough communication. If you're asking yourself a million questions about somebody or something, that situation doesn't have enough communication.
I like that.
That's mad cute that you have that with your friend. That's dope. That's dope.
That's definitely cool.
Yeah,
it's progress.
Yeah, it is.
Day,
and I don't even want to do that, but I'm just like, whatever, one emoji's not gonna kill me.
Yeah. And I think having that self-awareness to acknowledge, like, okay, this is how I feel, but I still gotta respect, you know, your feelings. And my shorty, in the beginning of our relationship, she would do that, like, just ghost, be like, I'm tight, I don't want to talk. But she would, like, sometimes hang up, or, you know, not acknowledge me and be like, hey, I'm gonna step back, let me do that. And so, but, you know, we worked it out, we talked about it, and now she's like, yo, I don't want to talk, I'll get back to you probably in a few hours. Yeah. And so that little thing, it might not seem like much, but it means a lot to the other person.
Yeah. But some people don't even know that that's something that they do until somebody else calls it out. It's just like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that that's something that I deal with, until the person says, hey, like, you disappear every time you're in a mood. So it's also, if you're close with somebody or you're dating somebody, whatever, it's also calling them out on their stuff too, because they might not even be aware. Yeah.
That's funny. I used to do that. I kind of still do this. I haven't done this recently, but if I get upset about something, I take 3 days to get back to you. Like, no, 3 days. I'd be like, okay, I need 3 business days. I'll get back to you in 3 business days.
That's so specific.
And it's funny because it literally, every time I would be upset, like, it would be 3 days. Like, I'd be like, yo, I really didn't talk to you in 3 days. And I'm like, yeah, I was like, all right, I'm better now. We could have a conversation again. You know, we could figure out what happened, da-da-da. But it's just like, I would be like, listen, like, I'm gonna take my 3 days and I'll get back to you. You know, at the third day, at this time, that exact time, I would just be like, oh, so all right, we can talk now.
Yeah.
Like, I really did that. Like, I was like, I haven't done that recently. I was like, okay, I really like making progress. But I was like, I did that. And everybody's like, yo, you really took 3 days, like, to call me back. I'm like, yeah.
Like, respect my progress, like.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that was out. Everybody used to be like, yo, why are you really not talking to me for 3 days? And they would be like, oh, are you okay? How you doing? Hey. Hi. And I'm like, I wouldn't even respond. But I'm like, I was like, 3 business days, bro. Like, 3 business days. I did that to everyone. I did that to my friends. Like, it didn't matter. I was just like, it's okay.
I feel like I would have been like that, but all right, so this is going to like some traumas or whatever, right, that I dealt with. So my dad wasn't a very emotionally expressive person, and so if he was tight, just quiet and like just chilling with a tight face on, I'd be looking like, hey dad, can I have nah? Just like just straight stoic. And so I like to have dialogue. But when I want to talk, I'd be like, hey, let's talk about this. Like, nah, I don't feel like nah, let's talk about it now. And I've realized that that's not productive, because if you're not ready to talk, you might say something you don't mean. You might, say the wrong thing. So I had to learn to like give that leeway, give that space to like let you figure it out.
I feel like a lot of, like, we learn our communication from the experiences we go through. Like, let's talk about that. Like, how was your parents in terms of communicating with you guys?
So like, my
Oh, I was looking at her. I thought she was gonna
my
go
bad.
first.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say
I didn't even see. I was looking at him. I'll go.
Like, maybe
Because he just told us about his dad. So
Yeah.
my dad, he definitely was like very, very like eye-opening for me as a kid. And we communicated about a lot of things, but there were certain things that I just knew that wasn't getting communicated. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I feel like my parents were good at communicating things that they wanted to communicate.
Right.
And if they didn't, I understood that wasn't the conversation that was going to be had at that age. You know what I'm getting at? Like what I couldn't say, I was very aware of that as a kid. So I feel like I would say it benefited them and me as much as they probably thought it could benefit me for what they knew or what they had for the age they were. Like,
Yeah.
But
Definitely, I completely agree with that, because it's not like they left us to the wind. Like,
at all.
they told us, talked to us about certain things. As I got older, I realized because sometimes my dad, it'll be me and him, just father-son time, whatever. He'll tell me little stories from his childhood, and I'll be like, that was kind of fucked up. Like, I can see why you so built up right now.
Yeah.
And so, even though we don't have conversations about it, I respect that and allow him to just have his coping mechanisms. Because especially at this age, he's around 60 now, older people don't really change like that.
Yeah, they stuck in their ways.
Right. And so sometimes as the kid, you gotta step up to the plate and be like, I'm gonna try to make a better relationship, even if you're not actively trying to do it as well. But my mom's the opposite. She talks about everything. So I guess I have that kind of like a balance. Yeah. So it might be different for me.
For me, my mom, she was pretty open, but that's also probably because she had me young. So it was like we were closer in age per se. Yeah, she was pretty open. Now as far as like a male, I didn't really have that type of relationship with a male with open communication, all that type of stuff. I still would say, I mean, honestly, I'm not a parent, so I don't know what it's like to, I guess, try to have certain conversations with your children. Like, it might be just as awkward for us, it might be just as awkward for them to bring up certain things. And so I'm guessing that might be why I didn't talk about certain things with my mom. But I don't think that if I was to like speak up myself, she wouldn't answer it either, type thing. Yeah.
So do you think that for you, your mom's, like, your communication with her was strong?
I wouldn't say it's strong. I'm saying her as a person, she's pretty open about talking about certain things. Now, when it comes to like personal, like, no, the way you just spoke to me was not it, type thing. That doesn't go well. Everything else under the sun she'll talk about, but when it comes to like personal, maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big thing. Is your mom Caribbean?
Yep, Jamaican.
There you go. So I feel like with Caribbean parents, it's really a lot of you're the child.
Yeah.
You can't talk about certain things with me. And I feel like that's such BS, because it's like, even into your adulthood, they treat you like that.
Yep.
And it's like, bro, I'm a grown ass, whatever. Like, let's talk about it.
Yep.
But it's probably just uncomfortable for them to a certain point.
Yeah.
So
And you gotta think about it, like our generation, we're the ones that want to like challenge you and challenge the way you think, challenge the way you speak to me, and so it's kind of like a culture shock to them. It's just like, wait, when I was their age, I could not ever dare even open my mouth and say anything like this. So for them, it's like a culture shock type thing. So I don't know, I gotta get over it soon because we not stopping. Like,
exactly.
I'm still gonna say it.
And don't get me wrong, it's gotten better because the stories they told me about their parents and their grandparents, it was like, bro, you was in prison. Like, this wasn't life. So, I feel like with us, it's just going to keep getting better. And I'm really interested to
our
see.
kids is going to love us.
Yeah.
We about to grow with them.
Yeah.
Okay. I for me, it's a little different. Me and my dad, we can't talk for shit. Like, we're the same person. So it don't ever work out. So I don't even talk to that man. I just be like, all right, whatever.
It's just 3 business days after 3 business days?
Nah, like, no, we're literally like the same person. So it's like, we just don't get along. Like, we can have a good day, and then later on that same day, we be arguing. It's just, I don't know.
Is it like bickering to where like I still love my dad though? Is it like, yo, I cannot talk to him for 3 days? Like, is it like, what is it like?
No, it's more so for him, it's his way or no way. So it's like, all right, well, he
gotta go.
Yeah, he's it's my way or no way. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I just let you rock. But I don't. From a young age, I've always been like with him, like, okay, well, this is not what this is. Like, me and my mom is, especially as I got older, like, we're very open. Like, I can have a conversation with her, like, this,
Yeah.
But how she was raised and how she raised me and my siblings, like, totally different. Like, I could have a conversation with mom and then, that's just, it's nice. Like, I could get her honest feedback, like, about anything, any topic. And it's like, it's normal. Like, I'm like, okay. So it's like, when I hear, like, a lot of, like, how you guys are telling me, like, I'm just like, damn, like, where is, like, the mishap, I guess. Because it's like, you should want to figure out or know what's going on in your child's life, regardless of good or bad, So it's like, I'm so used to that as a person. So it's just like, I wouldn't want my kids to be like, oh, well, I can't talk to my mom or I can't talk to my dad because.
Yeah, that sucks.
And it sucks because even now I have friends and stuff that's like, I'm like, bro, we're like about to be 30 in a couple years and your parents talk to you like you're 5, like, why? And it's just like, it makes no sense that you were getting talked down like that. I'm like, if you have, especially if like you're dating somebody, oh, why are you outside? What do you mean why I'm outside? I'm a grown ass person. Like, I should be able to go outside and be outside till 6 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm just like, why do they treat you like that? Because a lot of times if they were raised somewhere else, there's mad shit that they did that we don't do in New York City as a child. Like, so it's like, where's the, why are you treating me like that if you did that, Yeah. It's one of those.
Yeah.
I think it's just culture. Just like from a Caribbean standpoint, at least.
Yeah.
I'm thinking back and I'm trying to like make the connection from like what happened so long ago that now it's like this. But all I can say now is that it's just the culture. Like, children are to be seen, not heard. That type of paradigm. So,
I mean, we know why it's like that. If we link it, we're gonna be talking about it all the time. You know exactly why it's like that.
Yeah, but it's so why is it different in the Caribbean than here in America?
Well, I feel like because whack ass melting pots. So it's just like, you get away with certain things here. Things are different here. Like, it's just a different country. This is first world here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get the kids are. Even though we go through a lot here, we spoiled in certain ways.
That's true.
So you go to the Caribbean countries, like, it's just like you said, it's different culture, but like these people are like, they just deserve better, and like we deserve better as a people back then, because that's really where all that trauma is brought down from. It's brought down from slavery. It's brought down from boat stops of people, like, not even to take it there, but like just for communicating. Like, we know where it come from, and like it really does like kind of like irritate me when I even think about it, because like when we really do think about, like, sometimes people can't talk to their parents, and it's literally because of like shit that happened years ago. Like, we're literally fighting demons daily off that. You know what I'm saying? Just off, like, broken families, not knowing how to talk to your kids, being afraid of being vulnerable to your children because you couldn't be vulnerable around your parents. Like, just brought down, like, fear. There's a whole bunch of fear. But, like, we so much better than that. We could our generation, like, I really feel like we can do this. Like, we can literally communicate with our kids while growing with them and respecting them. Yeah. It's no problem. Like, it's no problem. Like, I feel like even though, like, you know, like, our parents, you know, they be hard on us, but in comparison to their lives, you know, we lived better. Same way, like, it's just going to continue to get better.
Exactly.
Because we're just going to continue to get more knowledge. We're just going to continue to educate ourselves, you know? So, like, I see great things in the future. But, like, when we talk about where that came from, ain't no question about it. Like, ain't no question about it. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like every race of people will have issues regardless. But, like, damn, my bad. Every race of people have issues regardless, but, like, not when it comes to, like, that kind of thing. I think that that's really, like you said, like, a culture thing. Like, we have that disrespect issue in our homes more than, like, Asian families do. You know, white kids be wildin'. But, like, you know, Hispanic family, I feel like other kids, you know, they be it'd be, like, a certain level. They have their own trauma, too. But in terms of us with, like, just feeling like we be angry at our family members, that's, like, a strange feeling to me. I feel like it comes straight up from trauma. Yeah. Generational curses and stuff.
As you saying that, if you think about it, again, not to go all the way there, but like on the fields or whatever, our skin color, we couldn't really talk up. You got beat if you spoke up. So think of it now. If we speak up, when we were younger, when we spoke up, we got beat for it. Yeah. It's the same thing. You didn't have that opportunity to say what you feel, and if you did, you got in trouble for it. So it's the same. It is passed down.
Yeah, and I feel like that generation of, like, our grandparents, they were the kids who really felt that growing up. Like, like, I can't do something because I'm black. Like, they felt that 60 years ago. So imagine what our parents felt 30, 40 years ago when those were the parents teaching them that. Right. But then, you know, 70s, 80s, 90s came and, like, you know, like, it got a little better. And, like, you know, and that's why we have us. And that's why we're able to think like this. And, like, we're dead ass gonna be able to, like, do that for our family in the future, like, not have these issues that we know were embedded in us from just
we're trying to
something
break that
we're not
cycle. We're trying to break that. And my mom always says that. She's like, you should break the cycle, not try to continue to live in that. It doesn't make any sense. Like, we're only moving forward. We're not trying to go backwards. So in order to do that, you have to build, you have to repair what's broken. Yeah. If you don't repair it, you're not gonna get there. I
feel like a big factor in that too is the poverty aspect, because if you work a 9 to 5,
I was just gonna say that
you don't have the time to sit your kid down and explain, like, all the different feelings and traumas and this and that, because he got school in the morning, you got to make dinner, you know, you tired. So it's like, it's so many factors, but like you said, it's getting better. Like, as each generation comes down, you know, the wealth builds, you know, emotional intelligence builds. And so when we pass that down, it only refines itself, you know, in each generation. So and like, some parents, you know, somebody has to work the 9 to 5. So, like, I hope that one day we can just get to a place where, like, we do have facilities and things in our community to where your child is actually being cared for when you're at work. There's a place for your child to do something they're passionate about after they've done their, you know, 9 to 5 of learning, you know, all day. Because, like, kids really need to express themselves, figure out what they're passionate about before high school, so they're not running around after they SAT like, oh, what do I want my major to be? Like, then you get to college and you switching it. Because when you was 9, you was just going to sleep after you played with your games, after you went to school all day, when you probably should have been figuring out what you like to do when you're not doing something that somebody told you to do. You know? Tell me why yesterday, so I work part-time for this teaching place, right? And I teach architecture to kids.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. So I'm mentoring this kid one-on-one, and, you know, I'm telling him to do certain things. And then I ask him, like, yo, what do you do in your free time? He's like, I'm like, yeah, well, like, what video games do you play, whatever? He's like, I don't really play games. I, you know, do activities. I do math on my free time. This is a white kid. Right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like, I do math, I, you know, sketch and this and that, just saying a whole bunch of productive stuff. And I'm just sitting there like, he's living a completely different life than any of me or my peers. Like,
because he has completely different resources.
Exactly. The hour that I'm teaching him was for $55. It was $75 in total, you know, some to the organization, some to me. our parents didn't have that access, those resources, like you said, like $75 for an hour.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, hell no.
So I gotta work 5 hours for you to do that one thing, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, what?
And this is a continual,
It's
like,
hard.
yeah, his mom wants this for like the next few months. And so, yeah, like I just feel like money is like a really key part in the way that we interact with, you know, our parents and stuff.
This conversation went real nice. So the last thing I do want to talk about is repairing relationships. So we could talk about any kind of relationship. I do have a story that I want to share so that we can go from there. So me and a friend of mine, the same friend that that I said earlier, like we know each other for a long time. We're actually not friends anymore. Oh. And we're not friends for a bunch of reasons, but communication was a big part of that. And it was more so how she approached our first conversation of how everything boiled down. And it was I understand this was the thing. I understood my fault and what she had to say to me. I did walk away. She said what she said. I looked at her and I walked away.
You're saying this would happen a lot, or this is
this is this situation. Yeah,
okay.
This was this situation, and I walked away. I was like, you know what? I know myself, and if I stand here and I let her continue, I'm gonna get mad. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna get myself a drink. I'm gonna stand there real quick, and I'm gonna come back. You know.
Yeah.
But she stormed after me, and not knowing that she should have just stayed there and let me come back. She wanted to do what she wanted to do, you know? Like, I understand you want to come after me. I didn't like how you walked away. No problem. I admitted, okay, maybe I shouldn't have walked away. But I also said, do you understand the type of person I am, though? You just sit here and call me out my name. I don't call you out I don't call you out your name, you know? Like, I don't call you out your name. I don't call you this. I don't call you that. I don't tell you what you do, you know, stuff like that. And I said, how would you feel if I said the same thing about you? And, you know, like, and I said it. I gave her an example, and she's like, oh, but you ganging up on me and my other friend. And we said, no, that wasn't the situation. What we're saying is I said the same thing that you said to me, but for you. You understand? Like, I said what would have made you upset in this moment. And I told her, I was like, you know, I'm not upset that you said it. I just wanted you to understand why it was wrong or why I felt how I felt about it. You know, like you called me out my face in front of my friends. You know, these is my group of friends. You know, you came, I invited you here, you know, and you had the audacity to do that. I was like, you know, like, and I said it, I was like, listen, I need you to understand that this was wrong. Like, or this is how I felt. Not that you were wrong, but this is how I felt in this situation. Yeah, you can tell me, oh, I didn't like that you walked away. No problem. I said, I walked away because X, Y, and Z, you know? And I was like, for me to sit here and let you keep talking to me like that wasn't going to work. Yeah. You know? Like, that could have escalated any kind of way.
Yeah.
And I was like, in order to not escalate it, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take a step over here and, you know, we'll start again in a couple minutes, you know? Like, we can start again in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And I said that. I was like, I've done that plenty of times. I'm that type of person. Like, I've done that plenty of times with her. I was like, listen, I'm going to stand over here for a few seconds. Because it makes no sense for us to go back and forth, you know? Like, I was like, we grown. You keep telling me you grown, but you're not acting like that. You're not acting grown. You're telling me what I should have done, you know? And I'm explaining to you, well, I understand what you said. Maybe I shouldn't have done that in that moment, no problem. But now, moving forward, what you said, you basically told me out my name. No, that's not how this is gonna work, you know? Like, I don't call you out your name. That's not how we do this. And that was the problem. It escalated from there. Like, our friendship went totally left after that.
Yeah.
Just because of that one situation, you know? And I was like, you know...
It'd be like that.
It does. And it was just like, everything just kept piling up. I was like, if this is the person that you became, I accept you through all of that change. You know? I've known you my whole life. So it's like, I accepted you for the change that you were. But you didn't accept me for the person I've always been. You understand? Like, I was like, it doesn't work that way. I was like, it doesn't work that way. So I was like, we had that conversation. We still it didn't work out. So you see, like, it was like, I let her say what she had to say. I listened. I explained myself. I let her explain myself, but all she heard was the negative things that I was saying. Mind you, they weren't negative. I was pointing out, you know, this is what it is. This is how you felt. This is how I felt. And that's that. Like, you know.
So did this person, like, Did they ever acknowledge what they said? Like, okay, what I said was incorrect.
Yeah,
No.
like
It was never acknowledged.
they no apology for that.
No.
Yeah, I feel like that's step one. If you can't do that, then the conversation is dead. Maybe like, okay, I did this wrong. Let's move forward. But if you can't start there, it's like, where do we go?
And yeah, because what I said, well, how would you like it if I said X, Y, and Z? Not to say that this is what I'm going to say, but this is the example that you see how that hurts your feelings. Now, imagine if that actually, what you said actually did hurt my feelings, you know? And I said, no, it didn't hurt my feelings. But if it were to bother me the way that what I said bothered you, wouldn't you want an apology?
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's what I said. But she never apologized for it. Like, from there, it just everything went south, and I was just like, you know, you didn't acknowledge what you said was hurtful, or you know, you didn't acknowledge that.
Yeah.
And that was kind of what it was. I was like, you don't have to say sorry. Like, that's not the thing. It was, oh, I understand how you felt, or that this was what it was, you know?
Yeah.
But we've never been able to communicate nicely. Like, that was like our whole thing.
Yeah. That literally ends friendships. But like sometimes that is not such a bad thing. No disrespect to your friendship. No.
Yeah.
But like if you're telling me you can't talk to this person, telling me you gotta walk away. Yeah. You have to go.
I was
There's
like,
almost no option, especially when she doesn't or he doesn't want to grow.
Right.
Like, you know, like nah.
I was just about to say that too. Like for me, I don't think I have any like long-term friends like that, because I would see it in little actions. Like, they'll tell me a story about them and somebody else, and it'll be like, oh yeah, but you was wrong. And they're like, but nah, listen. I'm like, okay. Or they'll interact with like a waiter, or you know, we out somewhere to do some shit. I'm like, I'm gonna stop hanging out with you because I don't like the way you're moving right now. Yeah. And so yeah.
Like, we really at that age where I feel like we really should be close to, or at least done with, weeding out those type of friends. Like, you have to. It's mandatory for your peace, for your growth. Like, you cannot be around people who are, like, literally, like, hurting your brain. Like, I'm around you, and, like, I would literally be happier if you wasn't around me right now. Like, you're supposed to be around people who, like, bringing your spirits up. Like, we are not living in easy times right now. Like, to choose to spend your time with somebody who's not respecting you, why? Like, what's the point? You don't even care about me the way you should if we lifelong friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? You definitely deserve better than that.
It's as we're getting older, like, I've definitely understood that. Like, that's definitely something to maintain your peace. And it's like, over like the last couple of years, I definitely, you know, weaned out majority of those friends. And then it was just like this last person just there. And it was just like, I was like, you know, I'm going to accept this person, like, flaws and all. But it was just like, it just was too many things happening so close together. And I was like, every time we have a conversation, it was me having the conversation first. I was like, that's not fair. I was like, if you want to work on this, you know, like you said, it should be, you know, both of us doing this together. You shouldn't be waiting for me, you know, to start this conversation. And I feel like that's how things end. Yeah. Like, that's how, like, this can't be a one-sided thing. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. 100%.
And a lot of people, I'm sure, have been in your shoes. I've been in your shoes where, like, you have weeded out all the easy friends to get rid of. Because it's like, yo, I don't even hang with you that much. You got me tight 3 times. You out. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, like, those people that you've been friends with for so long, you be looking back like, but we did, and you was, nah, mama, what are you doing today? How do you make me feel today? And I feel like I'm still learning to live by that. But, like, I'm going to have it down pat. I'm gonna have that down pat, because I would just feel like that's how you stay safe. Like, you do not want people around you who bring in you any of that, like, harmful energy. Like, it is just not gonna be good. It's gonna be bad eventually.
I be saying that all the time. Like, as I get older, my peace is just so important. Yes. As a kid, you, like, you know, you hang around anybody because it's fun or whatever. But as an adult, you just like, yo, I just wanna do what I gotta do, interact with the people I love, and not be stressed out about nothing else. Yeah, definitely. Between bills and cost of living going up, gas $5, I'm like, I'm stressed. I'm too stressed.
Yeah. Well, for me, like, I wouldn't even say that's a struggle no more. Like, I just, like, I see something, I take mental notes. Like, I'm the type of person to take mental notes. Nobody would ever know that I even peeped it. Nobody know that. But it's just like, I watch them, like, I have this thing in my head where I'm just like, I know where to place you in my life type thing. So it's just like, I could see you one day out the week. Hey, what's up? but I'm not hitting you up ever to make plans ever because I do not
Right.
want to be with you alone ever because you're just that annoying.
Facts.
Like, nah. Somebody
Facts.
annoys
Felt
me
that.
a little bit. Somebody,
You
nope.
gotta boundaries.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
Because I don't want to be with nobody that I gotta like fake the funk around. That takes mad energy. It's
Yep.
just like, nah, bro. If I'm not feeling it, people know. Like, if I'm with a group of people, after a while, I'm not feeling it. I'll just get dumb quiet. I'll be somewhere by myself, or I'll just leave. Like,
If it don't say it, my face gonna like
Yeah.
you know
that's
like
definitely me.
just one of those
I just
situations
be
like
out like
you're gonna know.
Yeah.
That's why, like, the parties got so old to me because I realized I'm just in the corner like,
No, that's
I'm like,
a fact.
none of these niggas in here, like, this is boring. And so I definitely agree with that, where it's like, if you're around people you don't vibe with at all,
Yeah.
it's like, what's the point of being there?
Yeah, I just walk
Like,
away.
your time is precious. Like,
Yeah.
spend it with people you love, like people you enjoy being around. Yeah.
Yeah, especially
definitely.
like around groups. For me, I don't like to joke around with Bus so much. It's like, all right, I love to laugh and I love to clown. But after a while, if that's all we doing the whole time, I think I'm starting to like look like, all right, what's the next step to make money? Like, what are y'all doing with your life?
Yeah.
Type
Okay.
thing. Like, if people just laughing all the time, 24/7, nothing productive came out that conversation. Nothing inspired me to go do something,
Right.
to go make another stream of income or something. I'm just like,
Yeah, or at the very least, like I said before earlier, like passion. Like,
Yes.
what do you like to do? Like, no way we just really reality TVing it up the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah,
time.
nah.
Like, you know, like
Nah.
you just gonna watch other people live their life. Like, what you gonna
I
do?
mean,
Yeah.
So I felt that OD. Like, you have to be like getting your money up, doing something productive,
Yeah.
something you like to do. Like anything. Like no judgment. Like I feel like you can do whatever you like, but like
Yeah.
do it well. Like you know, like and make sure you about it.
Yes. If I'm in a group and nobody starts talking about anything that they're working on or like something new, I'm just like, all right, this is
Yeah.
boring. Like,
Yeah, it definitely got to be some seriousness in the friendship, because if it's just all, you know, key all day, it's just like,
Those actually aren't friends.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, if you're not inspiring me, I don't want to be around you. to be
Yeah,
honest.
that too.
You can be inspired by simply, like you said, listening to somebody's passion behind something.
Right.
So, like, if Serena starts talking about her book, it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, like, if I don't hear no type of passion behind anything, I'm just like, what's the point?
Yeah, that's a fact.
I like this. This was a nice conversation, guys.
Yeah, I enjoy talking to you.
Yeah, I agree.
So before we close, I want you guys to talk about yourselves, like what you got going on, what to look forward to, what's coming new, anything, where to find you on social media as well.
The reason I'll start is because I literally just finished doing something.
Oh, nice.
So I'm launching a show called The Black and White Show.
Okay.
I just finished taping a commercial like right before this. It's basically a show about like different topics, but we're gonna challenge them. So it's gonna be a segment called The Gray Area,
Nice.
where I guess, so you know how like somebody, for example, let's use like abortion, for example. We'll challenge that topic, either black or white, like either you're for it or not, and then
Got
we'll
it.
have the gray area where we'll discuss like, you know.
That's dope.
Oh, that's nice.
I like that.
So I just finished taping that commercial at this spot. It's free. I'm gonna send it to y'all. Like the rooftop
Yeah.
is mad nice, and they just let me walk in. But yeah, yeah, and then you can find me on social media at Shianne Wisdom.
All right. Yeah. It's, yeah. So right now I'm on Instagram. I have a couple business profiles. One is _law designs. I design logos from scratch. I don't do the cartoon shit that y'all be seeing in the comments. This is, you know, real work.
Okay.
Yeah, logos, emotes, t-shirt designs. I just finished a t-shirt design. It looks really dope. Yeah, so check that out. Also, I want to shout out my girlfriend, Achaya W. She's on YouTube. She does
Okay,
clothing
you on his
hauls.
little dirt.
Yeah,
I respect it.
You know, spread the word. Yeah, she just dropped a clothing haul. It's at 35K views now. I'm super proud of her.
Oh my gosh.
So, you know, check her out, see if you like her, and yeah, that's all right now. Oh, skincare line coming out. So just
Nice.
follow
That's
and stay
dope.
tuned. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Najee Rain. I'm definitely working on getting myself back out there. I was definitely like, this is like the first thing I've done since like February 2021.
Yeah.
I took some time off to just like rebrand, and then last summer I got into a bad accident. I broke my collarbone. So if y'all was watching, y'all saw me like stretching. That's why I'm still like in PT.
Oh.
But I'm having my first show on September 6th. It's a Tuesday, SOBs. So I'll definitely be posting that. My Instagram's at @damnnaj. You can also find me at Najee Rain. You type that in on Google, we should be good. DAMNNAJ though for the Instagram. But yeah, like I'm definitely excited to get back out there, start dropping some music, do these shows.
Yes,
That's crazy. I knew I was sitting here like listening to you talk. I'm just like, she has to like sing or rap or something. Like,
Oh wow, thanks. That's funny.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's Re the Host, and of course, make sure you get my book. It's Unknown. It's out now. All platforms. It's on ebooks as well. Just dropped. It's a collection of short stories, guys. Check it out. It's mad good.
What's it
I'm
called
definitely
again?
gonna support that.
Unknown?
Yes.
That's what it's called? Unknown?
Okay.
It's over. I hope you understand. Like I'm literally gonna read that. I'm gonna be hitting you up tonight like, oh my God. Like I love reading, like, and I love short stories. Like that's dope that you're doing that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Nice.
You can follow Shamar. It's _we want more, Instagram and Twitter. Of course, make sure you follow the show's page on Instagram and Twitter. It's TNTK Show. So thank you for watching the show.
And that's all you need to know.
Bye, guys. Yo, y'all been doing good, yo. We have not had to do that outro like more than twice now. Like, I'm so happy.
That's jokes. It's fire. It's fire.